All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with none other than CM Punk.
And I fully intend to get in there, and I'm here for a fight. I'm here to either get my ass kicked or kick somebody's ass.
CM Punk!
It might be said that CM Punk's tenure in the UFC was somewhat of a trial that went horribly wrong. It took him almost 7 years to leave the organization after signing with AEW, but also his comeback to the realm of professional wrestling. Having said that, the question remains, why even sign a prior WWE champion? He had never competed before, had only done a little amount of training, didn't belong to a gym, let alone have a weight division, and yet he was still given a contract to compete in the UFC's main event. For the benefit of the newer followers, the following is a chronology, since it is not exactly a simple thing to comprehend when glancing at the scenario for the first time. After competing in the Royal Rumble in 2014, CM Punk announced his retirement from both the WWE and professional wrestling, ending a career that spanned more than a decade. Because he was dissatisfied with his position in the organization, he's renowned for having informed Vince McMahon that he planned to leave after the incident. The subsequent months made it quite clear that he will not be returning to WWE at any point in the foreseeable future. In addition, he would not be returning to wrestling with any capacity, and he would instead concentrate on producing superhero comics and getting his body back in fighting shape rather than accepting offers to wrestle from Impact, NJPW, and ROH. UFC 881 was the promotion's last pay-per-view occasion of 2014, and it took place in December. Although there were 2 huge championship bouts scheduled for the night, the company instead made news by revealing that CM Punk had signed with them. When he was questioned on the program by Joe Rogan, he simply did not have any answers about where he might train, what weight class he would compete in, or anything else. The signing at first glance didn't seem to make much sense. Having said that, it is necessary to recall the state of the UFC at this moment in time. Conor McGregor recently been signed, thus he did not yet have a stellar reputation. Ronda Rousey were heading in the right direction but hadn't arrived there just yet. The legal troubles of Jon Jones had just started, Anderson Silva had been sidelined due to injuries, Nick Diaz and George St. Pierre had both effectively quit from the sport. They were both having issues with their draw, and they believed that Punk was indeed the solution to their problem. CM Punk finally settled in at Rufus Sports MMA a few weeks after joining with the promotion. The decision seemed rational given its proximity to the fighter and the fact that at its time, the training facility in question was widely considered to be the greatest in all of mixed martial arts. In 2015, the event featured a number of notable fighters, including Sergio Pettis, Rose Namajunas, Anthony Pettis, Ben Askren, Tyrone Woodley, and others. Punk would have been able to compete with the top athletes on the globe if they had names like that. They spent the next week and a quarter attempting to train a fighter with a relatively low level of expertise by taking him under the wing and showing him the straps. It is critical to keep in mind that despite the fact that Punk had some knowledge and experience in karate and jiu-jitsu, he was virtually going into the fight blind. The CM Punk sweepstakes was held at UFC Fight Day 82 in February of 2016, and the winner was determined there. Fans were treated to a battle between a fighter with a perfect record of 1-0 and a fighter with no wins or loses to their name, with the victor earning the opportunity to compete against a former professional wrestler at a later date that year. Mike Jackson was quickly put to sleep by Mikey Gall, who won the match to first-round submission. After CM Punk's victory, the two engaged in a stare-down inside the ring and had a conversation with one another. At long last, the ex-WWE champion made his appearance with both a name and a face to go along with it. CM Punk made his MMA debut at event number 2003 of the Ultimate Fighting Championship in September of 2016. The fight, which came as somewhat of a surprise, was one of the most hyped matches on the event and was a major reason why the event fared really well on pay-per-view. After the Kid had been talking a lot of crap in the build-up, the weigh-in saw both Gall and Punk exchanging words with one another. Mickey Gall have shown that the reason he was trash-talking before the fight was because he was ready to back that up. Punk was taken down by Gall almost immediately and battered while he was on the floor. He finished the fight off easily by submitting his opponent in the first round. After fighting for the first time over 2 years ago, CM Punk finally received another opportunity in the octagon. To give men another shot against someone with more experience, Dana White chose to bring back Mike Jackson, who was 0-1 in his first 2 fights. The fact that the PPV was kicked off by 2 competitors with a combined record of 0-1 had to have some kind of a record. It seems like there will be a fight between 2 boxers with a record of 0-1 this same night. Punk had success early on and in many people's opinions won the first round with a mix of leg kicks and a massive takedown at the close of the round. On the other hand, he had quite a significant drop in his adrenaline levels and was thoroughly defeated in last 2 rounds, ultimately losing by unanimous decision. After the fight, it was discovered that Jackson has a positive result for marijuana on his drug screening, which resulted to the fight being reserved. As a result of this, CM Punk's record as a fighter was now 0-1. CM Punk returned to the realm of professional wrestling in August 2021 after signing a contract with AEW. Despite the fact that this news undoubtedly eclipsed everything else, he was also in the headlines due to the fact that it was uncovered that he was not only still in the UFC, but that he actually phoned them to resign from their positions. It has been 3 years since his last bout when he phoned the UFC to let them know he was retiring from fighting for good. He had earlier neglected to close the door, but as soon as he entered the squared cycle, he slammed it in your face. After being employed by the firm for close to 7 years, he decided it was time to go. As of 2022, CM Punk has a net worth that is equal to $10 million. This is a significant amount of money, taking into account the fact that he does not wrestle and does not have any forthcoming MMA matches scheduled. During his time with WWE, Punk received a substantial amount of money for his work. Prior to that, he held the title of highest earning ECW star during the year of 2006 and 2008, with yearly earnings ranging from about $200,000 to $300,000. 2011 was the year that he reached the $1 million mark in yearly earnings from WWE. In 2012 to 2013, the number was estimated to have reached $1.3 million. In the 2013 to 2014 fiscal year, it reached to $1.7 million. He was featured as the cover athlete for the computer game WWE 2K13, which brought in an additional $200,000 for him. When CM Punk left WWE, he already had a brand value that enabled him to make millions of dollars no matter where he went. Because of this, the UFC was willing to pay him substantially, despite the fact that he was only starting out. His first fight earned him a cool $500,000. He made even more money off of the PPV sales, which took his total revenues far above the $1 million threshold. His second participation earned him a total of $503,500 in compensation. A further appearance fee of $500,000 was provided, and the fight incentive of $3,500 was also provided. Throughout his career, CM Punk has maintained a reputation as a rather philanthropic celebrity. Both the Make-A-Wish Foundation and another organization with a similar mission, the Kids Wish Network, have benefited from his ability to grant wishes. An event that aims to promote the health of Chicago's youngsters via healthy nutrition and more educational opportunities has added Punk to its roster's Kerry Wood Strike Zone Bowling Tournament. In 2015, he donated the proceeds from the sale of his first automobile, 2001 Chevrolet Monte Carlo, to charity. In addition, he has painted customized seats for the Chicago Cubs, which have been auctioned off. Are you a fan of CM Punk? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.